Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the last game of the day for day number 1, week number 7 of the Smite Pro League. My name is Jaibeer, and I'm joined today by DM Brandon. The matchup is going to be Cognitive Prime up against Fat Chunks Assemble.
So Cog Prime going into this knows one thing. They must continue winning. If they fall down a certain amount of places, down to 4th seed, they'll wind up on the same side of the bracket as their sister team. Now remember, also the top 2 seeds do not have a round 1 to play.
Right.
The bottom 2 seeds coming out of the Pro League that will make it to land will have to face off against the winners of the wild card, which could be a challenger team. It could be Fat Chunks Assemble. They could make it back through. My predictions is that we are probably going to see Fat Chunks make it back through.
I believe so as well. They've kind of picked up their pace, and we saw this last week. Once they started, they've been innovating a lot, running Aphrodite in the hunter role, New on the hunter role, kind of moving around with some different ideas. Some of them stuck, some of them didn't, and then we saw them just really hammer home some of their generic styles of Smite, the current meta, and they just dominated last week. They did really, really well, and so we're looking to see them do that again this week. Now, of course, it's not the easiest matchup in the world. They're up against Cognitive Prime, but here comes the bans. We see Nuwa and Apollo banned out by Chunks. Across the way, Freya and Geb banned out by Prime. Of course, this leaves Mercury, this leaves Serket. That was fast.
Why is Serket available? And why is she making
It's Cog
it through
Prime.
pick 1?
That's Andinster.
Did they just give Serket to Andy?
They did.
Well,
They did.
That's not a good idea. Andy and Athena, or rather Serket and Athena, going to be locked in there, and no top-tier support option. Since Heavy Hammer has been nerfed, you're not going to see a lot of physicals, no more Chuck, no more Wukong. It's going to be all about the Guardians. So left side, we're going to see Janice and Rama locked in. Cog Prime most likely going to ban out Bacchus here in the next phase, but they do have a good
I would imagine so. I mean, again, Athena's great, but if Geb's banned, she's easily twice better. I mean, there's no one to slow down the Athena pressure. Of course, Geb with that constant knock-up, the interruption, the ultimate, and the fact that he can cleanse anyone from taunt, it makes Athena just kind of sweat in the middle of the night. Chalk, speaking of the middle of the night, he is going to be hovered on here by Cognitive Prime, possibly looking there into the solo lane. They've got Serket and Athena already locked in here, and I think you're exactly right. I think they're going to look for a Bacchus ban here after.
Yeah, I would assume so. Right side, they're going to actually switch from Chalk to Guan Yu,
Omega's Guan Yu.
Yes, a character that Omega has seen amazing amounts of success with, actually rocking a 2/3 win percent, I think.
Yeah, 67%.
With a 12% pick ban. So that's actually pretty high. Most of that belongs to Omega.
Well, across the way, Fat Chunks has a chance to make a ban here to see how, or I'm sorry, the first ban going to the Cognitive Prime, but imagine this is going to be a support. Now, you see Rom, Giannis, and Ra already locked in here, so they basically banning a jungler. Now, Nemesis is still a bit. Okay.
All right, they'll ban out Ares. I guess they're not as afraid of Bacchus, and they kind of...
What is a roar? I mean, how do you ban against a roar?
That's true. This still could be Fenrir.
I mean, you just look at the entire list of warriors, assassins, and guardians. You're like, which would I ban for his guardian role? I don't.
Incoming Nasha.
Who knows? Aurora does what he pleases, and he does it well. Fantastic player.
We've been talking about Bacchus. This actually might just be Ymir.
True. Very true. I mean, a lot of hard lockdown helps a lot with Serket as well, where she kind of has to deal with that wall element, and the slows really hit Serket hard. We're going to be seeing a ban on her across the way, which go right into Neath.
I would have banned Neath against Cog Prime. Barracuda kind of put Neath on the map. Didn't really have that same level of this character is mine kind of thing on her. And while he does very well, Neath is much more his play style. A lot more conservative, not as aggressive. Barracuda is a player that's very consistent and deliberate in his attacks, allowing Neath to do things.
Oh, Nemesis hopping on Kuba Karn there for Fat Chunks. Might even go for the setup potential. Now, they don't really have a whole lot of combo potential with the Kumba other than the Giannis, really. They're going to be swapping over to Ymir, so it looks like Ymir will be the selection. Across the way, Cognitive Prime looking to make one last... Wait. What? Is Junkway?
They wouldn't pick Junkway into Nemesis. That doesn't make... This should be Aphrodite. If they're going to... Actually, they need a mid laner. This could be Agni.
Agni's still available.
Scylla. I'm going to say they're going to pick Scylla.
Scylla?
Yeah, they'll probably pick Scylla, and not the Junkway that they locked in, because Nemesis is on the board. They'll probably pick Scylla.
Now, for those of you who are wondering, Nemesis has an ultimate which, of course, removes a percentage of HP, lowers your protections, and slows you, and gives them to Nemesis.
It's a percentage of the protections.
That's right. So Junkway, who is really, I mean, a lot of his ability to move around freely and not really worry about anything, it comes into protections. Of course, he has the protection gain from his passive, which gets doubled during the activation of his ultimates, the Recall Demons, and of course, he's got a good stun. He's got a great slow, lasts a long time, one of the longest lasting slows in the game, especially when you have a Gem of Isolation. So, Nemesis is able to take a big chunk of his percentage HP, a percentage of his protections, and take it away. Really helps shut him down there. So that's why we're talking about him, especially slows. I mean, slows are so good against Junkway.
Yeah, which is, I think, one of the reasons that there's no way they'll they'll pick Zhang Kui here. There's no way.
Yeah, we're still waiting for that last pick there on the last screen.
But
I mean, you look at it holistically, right? They've got a lot of control from Serket. She's going to be in and out. She's going to be a lot of damage, a lot of burst. That Madness, one of the most interesting and probably one of the most powerful CCs in the game.
Very annoying.
Able to move things around. They've got, Jeff Hinla there on Athena, a lot of control there. Good ultimate coming out from Guan plus healing. Neith, anywhere you need her, she's going to shoot an arrow. It's going to be helpful. And then Zhang Kui to kind of hold it down. So they have a very sturdy team with a scorpion in the back.
That's right. Going into it in just a few seconds here, Chunks versus Cog. Now remember, guys, Cog is doing their damnedest not to fall down to 4th seeds. In fact, they have quite a ways to do that. With Dignitas's loss there, they're sitting pretty, but they still got to be wary of Snipe. Snipe's goal at this point is to make sure Dig loses every game for the rest of the week, starting with that one. If Snipe can work their way back up and force Dignitas into Cog Red, Snipe has, I think, a better chance against Cog Prime, especially noting their performance at the launch event land, which was an incredible showing for Snipe. In fact, they, for all intents and purposes, won that set in my mind. It was the biggest throw we've ever seen. They should have won, and I think if they did, they would have won that tournament.
Well, we also saw, last week when Cog Red went up against Cog Prime looked very good. Shut down Cog Red completely, and Cog Red didn't even throw any punches. I mean, they had very low kill count, had no control of the map, shut down Gars, and so, I think that it's pretty easily seen that Cog Prime and Cog Red are very, very strong teams to look at here, and Chunks, a win here would really validate themselves. I mean, they have this fight against Cog Prime, and they've picked these different characters, especially given what's on the board right now. So keep an eye on Anister in the beginning of the game. Now, Anister kind of he teeters on, I like to farm a ton, and occasionally I'll fight. But, he does so well at playing cautiously, and then he has his switch, which I admire so much. The players that have that switch and they know how to use it, where they're just like, I'm offensive, I'm defensive, I'm offensive. And literally you think you have them, and they can flip the switch, and all of a sudden you're at 0% HP. I love that about Anister. And so look in the early game to see how well he can slow down the farm of Chunks.
I'm surprised to see Guan Yu here talking about Omega going to Emerald Talisman, and then I remember that it's Omega and that he just builds defense so that he can never be touched, so that he can go into late game and just stand there and laugh as people attempt to damage him. In fact, the last time that we saw his Guan Yu, he went into 4 people, used his ultimate, stunned 3 of them, and then taunted because Omega is actually godlike.
Because of reasons. Well, we'll see how he can pull it up here. He's going to be starting up with Emerald Talisman, going to give him a decent amount of MP5 and HP5, a small amount of health, and a lot of magic protection for a Tier 2 item. Great regeneration as well. And so you look across the way, he's going to be going up against a Ra. Ra does have, Ra, again, another stable solo laner. Doesn't really have very many bad matchups the way he controls. But Guan Yu, what's the matchup like there in the solo lane?
It's all about poke. Can he harass effectively? And this time looks like he'll be going up against Cyclone Spin. Cyclone has no way of stopping Tallow Assault, which means it's going to be a lot of running. Expect aggressive Omega to walk directly into the heal and do his best to keep that locked down. Omega doesn't have Hand of the Gods here. Will be able to put out 150 damage with Tallow Assault, so he wishes. Doing actually a little bit. It's actually 140 damage there. But they clean it up very quickly. The first camp, they actually didn't use Hand of the Gods. Second camp going in, they clear. But looks like the advantage is going to go right now to the boys in blue.
Well, you can see, the gold is really just coming from the solo lane. You're going to look across the way. Cyclone Spin sitting on 425 gold in hand, 400 there for Unique as well. Highest in the game, and so they just got a lot of gold to start with controlling this wave.
Where's he going?
Oh, he might, honestly.
He's just walking right through. Looks like he's going to leech some experience and then split that red buff with stealth, trying to get him ahead immediately.
Is he going for the move speed?
He's going
right in front of buff. That is bold. He walked right in front of Heroin and said, "Hey, I'm taking your move speed.
He doesn't
Enjoy."
have hand of
Oh, left side him damage here on top. Looking for Aurora. Aurora's body blocked as well. He's going for the left side gank. Will he jump up the wall? He's going for Aurora. Aurora gets hit by the blood. First blood, Barracuda. And World Traveler Anister is the one that gets it.
Rotating clear, and that was literally the mirrored end of the map. And now he's going to steal the speed buff. Anister is actually out of his mind.
Wow. Well, the move speed buff is secured here. So Anister's going to pick up an assist there on the left side, pick up the move speed buff. Oh, looking for some damage onto Stealth. Oh, the slow's going to let Heroin. Now for Unique. Double Frostbreath coming out. Glacial Strike on the ground. Damage coming out. Stealth needs to get away from here. Unique dropping low, dashing through. Stealth going to be taken by Heroin's at first blood there for Chunks, but Anister finds the kill on Unique. Anister is pretty close to 5 here. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He just hit level 4, so no ultimate available anytime soon. But they will be disengaging here. Portal on the ground.
Andy in trouble. Oh, missing. Rare drop there from Aurora. Even so, 2-1 for Cog there, as Annenster really abusing the kit of Serket, putting herself in dangerous situation and still getting out. What I just this is like what happens in my rank game. Like, guys, why is the jungler in my lane at 1 minute and 20 seconds? Like, can someone just rotate? Like, where was mid?
Oh,
why
man.
didn't Herwin stop him from doing that?
Right?
He literally walked right past him, and Herwin's just like, I think he's going to take your speed buff, dude. And so the dual lane's like, all right, I guess we're going to lose speed. There's nothing we can do about it. And then Aurora's just suddenly taking too much damage to live through.
Player damage from Neath is going to be the top of the game. Barracuda hitting huge numbers there. In response, Chunks has a lot of damage out as well, so they're definitely controlling the early stage, and a lot of that's more defensive, right? They're just fighting back as the aggression comes out from Cog Prime. You know, look at the numbers on the graph. You can see a slight gold lead there for Cog Prime. Almost no experience at all. Pretty much of no impact. Level 5 for Herwin. He's got that ultimate to rotate if he needs it. Right camp is already respawned. Chunks will go for it, and looks like they will get it. Oh, big rotation from Cog.
Andy once again going to find double madness, huge death bane, and we got an ultimate coming out with Unique to block it.
It's on Aurora.
Annister finds
the poison spreads.
Oh, wow. Double true damage. Beautiful play coming out from Andy. One of the few players now that have really utilized that ultimate correctly, and so early on, already Chunks got to be feeling the pain.
Yeah, that poison, of course, when you sting with the ultimate last breath from Serket, applies a poison. If that target dies, they will spread the poison to everyone around there. Unique, where is he going? Dash into madness. Unique popping the retribution, but body blocked by Annister. And free kill. Ultimate coming out from her. Would look for a fall. Aurora gets frostbite and stealth. There goes the slow. I don't see a whole lot of damage coming out here just yet. Slow coming out there from stealth as well. They're kind of low on cooldowns.
I like Andy here. He's like, I'm willing to do this. I am willing to die to kill you. And he will. Madness going off. He's in by himself and then immediately jumps away because Serket is totally balanced.
She's strong. A lot of damage. At this point, you're terrified. She's 4-0 and 1 DM.
Level 7.
She's looking, I mean, as far as gold in hand, she's going to be sitting on, looks like 1,100 gold. Oh, man.
Boots are done.
Boots are done.
Up, he has the money to go back and put penetration online, which is very dangerous. And the big part here, and this is not something that we see every day, and that's his rotation back to his camp was absolutely flawless, exactly on time. This is what you want to see. For those of you at home who, you know, go into ranked every day, who play a lot, as a jungler, when your speed comes up and you're starting chaos side, you need to be at the mark because you cannot afford to have it stolen from you. You cannot have that happen.
It's so tragic, and a lot of order side junglers will always set up wards there or be there right at that point that it comes back. Everyone knows when it's going to come back, and they get there and try to steal it away, and losing it really sets you back pretty far. I mean, movement speed is so valuable for almost every jungler in the game as far as the ability to move around the map and get what you need done. Movement speed is going to be activated here for Serket, along with flat penetration on those warrior Tabi now locked in. Devourer's Gauntlets have been done for a while here for Barracuda, sitting on 18 stacks. Devourer's Gauntlet. We see a wall coming over as the blue buff is stolen as well. Man, the hits don't stop coming.
Oh, through space and time, just barely gonna miss Barracuda, kind of scathing his cheek there. Unstable Vortex gonna be missed. Samshrew getting blown up. Oh, but jumping away. Andy actually forced to run out there. And
the poison! Rampage for Innocent. Look for damage on top of Jeff Hinla. Stealth dropping in. Recall Demons coming through. Unique not really enjoying that too much. The damage from Barracuda will take him down. Now looking for Herwin. He pops up the threshold. He's moving back to the lane. Stun coming out from MLST Stealth. Can they get this kill?
Nice damage coming out. Herwin actually hitting 3, but he's about to hit the ground here. D gets the portal, but he tossed it away, and Andy finds another kill. 6-0-2. Serket is banned for just this
reason. He waited for that. We see Aurora coming in the fight. May not be a good idea. He's surrounded here. There's Hinla. There's Annitzer. Barracuda's in the area. Needs a good wall to force it around, but smart. Annitzer goes around the taunt. He's body blocked. He's got nowhere to go. The damage for Barracuda killing spree as well. And you got to know that when Herwin is trying to hit that portal, Hedden was just saying, wait for it. And there's a portal. Okay, come to me.
Real quick. 9 kills. Annenser has 6 kills, 3 assists. Has been a part of every single one, and no slouch. Jeff Hinla makes his, I think, return to the top here, as he has also been a part of 8. Man. His boots are also online. You go across the way. Aurora actually already had his finish. Jeff just a little bit behind in that regard. And Samshrew, in a little bit of trouble. 7 stacks versus Barracuda's 29 in the Dev Gloves. On top of the fact that Barra is also level 9, is really putting him ahead.
Yeah, you can see Devour's Gauntlet not really fully activated yet just for Samshrew. And that's going to hurt him. He doesn't really have the box potential. Given the fact that he's up against Neath as well, who has the built-in lifesteal with the Unravel, Rom's kind of hurting for numbers here as far as the boxing matches go. We're going to see Aurora rotating over the left side, going to put a little bit of pressure onto Barracuda, but not going to commit all the way. And as these players move about here, we're going to see the build come out from the shadows from Andancer. Now, tell us a little about the difference between Sir Crit with rushing a Rage Deathbringer or going for the more reliable CDR into the Jotun's Wrath.
Well, the CDR is going to do two things. One, it's going to make sure that you have more opportunities to get that CC off, ensuring Cobra's Kiss, which is a very long cooldown, has a much better opportunity to go off multiple times, as well as allowing her to get in and out of fights more often. She can actually use the ambush offensively because she'll have more opportunities for death bane.
Unique in trouble, gets stunned down the lane there. There goes Retribution Shield coming out. Ooh, the madness. Actually, the Cobra's Kiss forces him to attack Herwind. One of the main downsides. Aurora gets jumped on here. Ooh, Purification Beads right after Athena Ultimate will keep him alive. Rom Ultimate doing moderate damage, but only hitting the second shot. Rotation on the right side, we're going to see Cyclone Spin looking for damage on Omega. Not going to find it there as they do decide to back off. But again, one of the downsides of that Madness CC is that it attacks the closest target to you, which if it's your teammate that's standing behind you, you end up running away anyway. Right,
exactly. In that case, Andy didn't quite have the line he was looking for, and yet greedily will stick around, rotating towards the backside, only about 8 seconds off from his speed buff timer, and is going to be able to pick that up once again. He's already level 10, and I'm looking at the experience per minute here, Drybear, and it's just, it's outrageous. I mean, he is close to the solo laners as a jungler, and then all the way near the bottom there. A lot of trouble. You're seeing Unique almost 200 experience per minute behind him.
Oh, ultimate coming out from the Guan Yu. Mega could have been looking for the damage. The Gold Fury will go to Chunks, but at what cost? Damage on top. Unique gets erased there. Now chasing down Samshrew, not going to find it. What will they use this time for? They've got mid tower standing up. Looks like they're rushing over to take that down, trying to recover from that objective drop. Gold Fury going to Chunks helps so much.
Unpopular opinion time. That, despite the fact that it was a big gold win, was not worth it. They cannot afford Unique any more time to be down, 300 gold or not. The gold isn't as important as the experience, and while they did get it, they lost a lot of farm time, allowing them... It looks like COG really didn't suffer too much for that. I mean, you look at it, they gained about 400 gold off of that, meaning they only gained about 1,100.
Aurora getting stunned out here. Nice portal there from Hurlwind. Neath ultimate coming out. Going to get blocked by Hurlwind. Damage on top. Hinla takes a kill on Aurora, and now we see Hurlwind in trouble, taken down there. A great rotation, but it seems like Chunks is ill-prepared here. They're not really putting the wards down they need to, and it seems like every single time they get attacked, it's more of a surprise.
To me, the only two people who benefited from that Gold Fury, Cyclone Spin, because he is doing the same thing anyway, hey, free 300 gold, and Samshrew, who went back to his normal opportunity there. Went back, farmed, cleared a few waves, gained some experience. Aurora was forced out of position, back into mid lane. He wound up dying. Herwin was forced to babysit the support because there was nowhere else for the support to go. Otherwise, too much experience would have been lost, and he would have been left alone. He accidentally blocks the shot coming out from Barracuda, which didn't work in the favor that he was hoping to. He gets picked off, and all the while, Unique was just getting slammed. It just was not worth it overall. And you take a look at the Gold Fury did drop, sure, but that gold has already been made up.
Catch jumping in, look for Roar. Damage on top. There goes the Madness. Already used. Needs a good wall. Frost Breath not going to let an answer. Nice taunt coming down with the damage, and that will be dead to rights there. Roar falling down yet again, and this is the major problem. Playing a mirror from behind when you don't have any items, you don't have any gold, you don't have any experience, he's very slow and very susceptible.
There's been a lot of pizza toppings this game so far. Cognitive just laying down the law. 13-1 right now doesn't really spell the whole story. It's the fact that they're 2,400 gold ahead after losing the Gold Fury. It's about the fact that they're 7,100 experience ahead, and you see that so easily. Samshrew, 3 levels behind right now. Looking at the supports, 2 levels ahead, Jeb Hinla, on top of the fact that he also has a 300 gold lead after losing the Gold Fury. And then Omega, I mean, you go across the way to Cyclone Spin, is actually 100 gold behind, but Omega doesn't care about gold. It's Guan Yu.
Speaking of not caring, Andancer walking into the enemy jungle. Unique has to back away here. Hurlwind, no rotation. There goes the damage buff. They can't defend anything. Looking for a wall is Aurora blinking. There's a Frostbite on Hinla, but this could be a very dangerous situation. Looking for damage. We're going to find Jeff Hinla, and that's it. Teleport towards from Omega. Big ultimate coming out from Hurlwind, but what will it do? Through the portal he goes. Around the corner. Omega's got his eye on the prize. He's going to find it. Will he go for it? There goes the dash and finds the kill. Ultimate coming out for Unique. Can he get away? Nice wall. wall. He's by himself, nowhere to go. Omega, for his greed, will be punished, but in the meantime, we did see a kill. Actually, no, those are the only kills going through this. They're actually going to get a good one-for-one trade. The map control is still in favor of Cog Prime, but that was interesting.
That was definitely in favor of Chunks right there, but you have to consider Omega doesn't care about that. To him, it's all about, like, whatever, I got another kill. I don't care.
Well, it's also sending a message.
Yeah, exactly. I will dive your tier 2 with 3 other people chasing me and die for it because I want to show you that you are actually my property. And that's what it was. I mean, that's the only thing you can consider. After this, Cyclone needs to get something off. If he doesn't get into that tower and take it down, right now he's backing. Full health, half mana. I can't imagine what he's going to buy that's going to be worth it. He had 1,000 gold in hand. That was another free wave of experience that he should have pushed. Wasted experience. Cyclone needs to take that advantage, and he didn't.
We see some harassment on the left side, and Samstrew backpedals into his tower here, but the gold difference is really hurting them. Gold per minute, 431 for Neath. There for Barracuda, Samstrew is sitting at 345. 100 gold per minute difference. That is hugely detrimental. Again, the average finishing GPM at the end of a match is around 405, so a lot of players under that threshold right now and on pace to stay that way as things kind of head into the mid-stage here. Looking for Herwin, going to get the taunt. The Purification Beats gets popped up, though, as he ticks down, but just the Exposed Evil did 1/3 of Herwin's HP.
You know, I'm looking at the gold per minute chart, and it looks very similar to Dota, where it's one person from one team on top, then 5 people from the other team, and then everyone else on the bottom because they've been trying to feed that player. Cyclone Spin is raw. I mean, that spells the whole story. Raw cannot carry games. Even with that Warlock Sash and then possibly Book of Thoth coming in line, he will not be able to carry team fights without some kind of secondary damage coming through. And at this point, Samshrew doesn't have control. Unique doesn't have control. Herwin is actually on bottom for his team for gold per minute, actually almost tied with Aurora. Aurora almost passing him now. It's actually, there's a 1 gold difference.
Well, the fact that no towers have actually gone down yet is really detrimental to Chunks because there's no open space to deal with. Samshu is locked in this lane against Barracuda, which is only going to give Barracuda more and more gold as objectives fall. But the problem is that, you know, Cog Prime's happy to 4v4. The smaller the numbers go, the worse it gets for Chunks.
Aurora's getting tagged. Nice Spirit Arrow is going to put him in an awkward spot. Andy gets frozen out, but no damage coming through to really deter him. The demons have been recalled, and Herwin's in a lot of trouble.
The Exposed Evil's ticking down. One more bombs an Aegis Amulet to avoid it, but the tank gets it anyway. MLC going down there. Now look for the damage of the Samshu by himself. There's the last breath, forcing him away, popping a little bit of movement speed here. There goes the damage. There goes the Cobra's Kiss, and he gets exploded. Unique wants to fight, but it's a 4-on-1. Searing Pain from Cyclone Spin will find an answer as Shutdown comes out, but at what cost? He sacrificed 4 of his teammates to get that single kill. The Gold Fury is standing. Cyclone Spin has no plan to turn this back around.
Yeah, I mean, he'll get a wave of experience, but with that Gladiator minion in the front there, they'll maybe lose 3. In fact, MLC Stealth, with a brilliant presence of mind to just rotate down there, ensures he's not only going to get 5 stacks, but not miss a single point of experience, only losing 2 creeps in gold.
Right now you can see that Barracuda looking for that Executioner. We're going to see Aninster actually looking for, I would imagine, a Rage at this point. But he could rush Deathbringer. They're so far ahead, and they're getting the gold income to support it. We're going to see the buffs on the back left stolen, movement speed being taken away. And this is the problem, is that Cog Prime is taking a little bit of handful, but they're starting the Fire Giant on the right side.
They don't have the damage.
They don't have single target. There's no single target damage there. It's all AoE.
Close. MLC Stealth rotates over and by himself will deter. Takes a lot of damage there, but look at the damage coming back through. Aurora wasting his ultimate. MLC Stealth out for free. Jeff Hinla out for free. Barracuda still fighting, and the Fire Giant has been deterred. A huge win for Cog.
Damage buff being picked up here by Unique. They're at least going to get that buff on the right side. Stealth looking for what seems to be Divine Ruin there on the right side against the Raw, I guess. I mean, you look at it, right, and how are they going to sustain these fights? It's going to be through Raw.
Raw, and then there's the Retribution Shield.
Right.
Samshrew has gone into Lifesteal. This is all about shutting down the healing potential, and that's a very smart play, considering that Divine Ruin lasts for 8 seconds, and those ghosts will hit every single player that's within range. It's going to be very hard to keep that stack off, and shutting that heal down from Raw is such a big play at this stage of the game.
It really is. I mean, that's their vessel for getting back in. Frostbeth on Aninster. Look for this fight here. Unique's coming in from the backside. Omega looking for stun. Can't find it. Portal from the Herwin is enough to give him the zone. The tier 1 is under pressure here, and it doesn't look like... I wouldn't defend this. This is not a good fight for them. They're going to back off and give it for free. Omega and Stealth making the smart play of zoning them out and rushing the front line, moving that line of scrimmage that much further back. The Tier 2 is now under pressure, and with the two members running back to the base, Aurora is gone, looking for the ultimate, going to find the Mendez, the taunt in mid-dash, going to find Unique. There goes Retribution Field, thrown back into the wall. There goes the hit. I don't think the poison will be enough to take him down here. She's going lower. That will be it, and we see the mid tower coming down as the Hunters are battling it out.
Andy not paying attention, didn't realize the last breath was on, goes into the tower and takes a lot from the shots. Omega still trying to battle through. Tier 2 still taking some damage and will go down. Left side, Samshrew forced out as Barracuda continues his pressure into the Tier 1. They might have another opportunity for a tower here.
We're going to see the minions on the right side falling down here. Nothing really to gain from the jungle just yet.
Barra's a god.
A lot of space.
Barra had a ward in his inventory the entire time, just placed it now because now's the time that he has to really push for this Tier 1. Taking a lot of damage. He only has one creep left. Do you think he's going to stick with it? No, he will back off in fear of Samshrew, but he has another wave coming, and Samshrew's feeling
Sending a message to Samshrew, though, dropping his HP pretty low. Got that lifesteal, but the tower will fall. Looking for the fight. He knows that Samshrew has the ability to get away, and Neith's not going to lock him, but here comes Unique. There goes the ultimate from Jeff Hinla as well. That's a win. I mean, you get the ultimate on cooldown, and they're going to back off.
Oh, I mean, well, he took the tower. I mean, they forced out another rotation from Unique, who, again, is not farming level 13 comparatively to Andy, level 16, and on a character who is much, much stronger in the current meta. Serket is something that you cannot mess with. As we've seen, I mean, she's 7, 1, and 9.
We're going to see... You know, what is Cyclone's been going for here? Now, if you don't add context, so it is going to be a book. So he actually is picking up a book at 18 minutes. On the downside of this is he has 75 stacks to go.
He might not even get
where he doesn't have map control. There's no safety, and he's going to be struggling to get these stacks here. But he had already started the Soul Trap. So do you go for, you know, a Soul Reaver instead of the book? I mean, I don't know what this is going to yield for him.
You know, usually when you think about Soul Reaver, you don't want it until the end game because it doesn't offer enough in terms of damage. Cyclone's about to feel the pain here coming through.
Ultimate.
He's going to be stunned. It looks like he's going to take some damage. Going to be stunned. Doesn't quite find the portal. And then Herwin's going to rotate in. He'll deal some damage, but not nearly enough.
Serket dropping numbers on Unique there. He is going all the way back to his Phoenix to back because he is so afraid of the presence of Ainus. They're going to find Aurora. There goes the Cobra's kiss, kissing Aurora. Portal on the ground, but they're body blocking the stun. The body block again. He gets through it somehow, and he will get to the other side, but he definitely is feeling the heat.
Right now, you can see 4 members of COG continuing to push forward as they rush directly into the Tier 2. Jeff tanking that up for Andy so he can get in there. Some healing coming out from MLC Stealth as well. Oh, Lord.
Press 1, kill Giannis.
Look at that ward that's placed. He's like, if they go for the small camp, maybe I can jump over and get the kill. And he does quite easily. Herwin's going to go down another Tier 2, and surprisingly to me, no surrender vote, despite being down 18,000 experience and 11,000 gold.
Anister's rotating over. Samshrew doesn't see it. He's boxing. He's focused. He doesn't know what's going on. The Scorpion from behind, the Cobra's kiss, the big burst, the damage comes out. He jumps over, squishes him with the ambush.
That's a level 3 ambush that he just used to get that kill.
Look at the damage. 15,000 damage dealt here from Anister. Takes the speed in a few shots. He is dealing so much, and he did actually rush the Deathbringer with so much gold that he has, so he's running Deathbringer Jotuns. He hurts.
And look at this, Barracuda facing down the jungle and the support, laughing as he walks away, taking some damage onto the Tier 2. The Gold Fury has respawned. Andy taking the left camp easily, and I think Barracuda's just going to rotate. Andy probably should stick around to help him with this.
Anister has a 13.5 KDA right now. 13.5. He is doing so incredibly well this match, and honestly, once you start to pick up that momentum, Serket is just such a hard character to deal with because you get close, you hit with madness or CC'd. The ultimate comes out, he stuns you in place and kicks you somewhere, and then of course he has the damage at point blank, and then he has another jump to get away afterwards.
Eyes on Aurora here as he's going to go for it, resetting, baiting it out. Aurora, his freeze is going to be on cooldown. There's Serket. There's 2 huge crits and the ending life. Retribution going to stand some damage back. Unique going to double dash away here, but not nearly. And oh my God, Defender of Olympus has defended Olympus guaranteed.
I think Olympus is okay.
Oh. Unique forced to use his ultimate to get away.
Are they rushing a tower?
This is not a good idea here because he's actually pushing himself towards his team, but he's actually baiting COG to the side of the map with the Fire Giant.
I don't see this ending well. I mean, are they rushing a tower? I mean, they're looking for a Tier 2, and that's what looks like Cause Prime's doing. I mean, they're going to send one person over there. No, MSS doesn't want it.
They don't care about that.
Hey, go for the tower, fine. We'll get the Fire Giant. They're going to be forced to disengage, jump over the wall just in case there's somebody there. Into the order pocket he goes, but a free Fire Giant, 24-3. The difference in kills is 8x. right now for Cog Prime?
Right now in chat, we should see a lot of all cap spaces between H letters, Bible thumps on each side, and it should just read Panic Boys as they escape from the Tier 2 and don't even defend the Fire Giant. Cog maintains pressure and forces a huge panic decision out of Chunks, who are now incredibly far behind. The level 20s are coming out, whereas on the left side there is a level 19, a level 16, and then no one even at 15.
There's also a Barracuda soloing a Gold Fury right now.
Again.
While the mid Phoenix falls, there's no response here from Chunks. I think they're just completely down and out, and the mental state has been brought down. Aurora taunted in, look for the damage. They're going to find a lot here. AoE coming through. There goes the dash from Unique, but he's so slow. He can't get anywhere. The damage on top, big crit from Megatron, going to find Herwin. Aurora has to back into his base. The Titan is swinging furiously, but at this point, what can he do? Nitol's going to come through, going to find Samshrew. He's going to be stunned into place. Blink from Aurora. They're trying to put out a last-ditch effort. This is their battle. This is their Thermopylae. Can they find Aurora going down? Going to find some damage on Samshrew. He tries to force out Answer, but Answer doesn't even care. He's just buying time for them to do the Phoenix.
I mean, we've seen a cameo from the ultimate of Barracuda, but aside from that, has not had any pressure. Barracuda literally went and took the blue buff after Gold Fury while his team just 4-man down a team plus 2 Phoenixes.
Oh, man.
I don't understand. Gold per minute, everyone now ahead of everyone on Chunks. 417, 418 now for Cyclone Spin comparatively to the bottom of 434 coming out from Jeff Hinla. At the very bottom, strangely, Herwind on Janice at 307. That is harsh, and you know, you got to feel for Herwind. I mean, the guy is literally named Wind, and the only Wind character in the game has been nerfed so harshly and is really no longer up for contention. Not that I'm complaining, mind you.
I know you were. You were very glad to see it go.
Long be the death to Kukulkan and Outlaw.
Well, 21,000 damage from Annister really tells the story here. They're looking for the rush.
What are they
doing?
doing?
There's no Phoenix. Oh, that teleport from Megatron. Into the portal he goes. Can he actually 4v4 versus 1 this? As the entry's not there. Popping ultimate. Athena ultimate. The old Guan Yu Athena combo comes on through. Here comes Jeff Hinla. And the big global response from Cog Prime takes out Herwin on the left side. And that will be the end of it, ladies and gentlemen. 29-3. Cognitive Prime takes the match in spectacular fashion in about 24 minutes of game time. And Chunks didn't get a single shot in that entire time.
Omega just took his teleport, brought Athena with him, and said no.
Got his little backpack.
We're not even going to give you this Tier 2 tower.
Someone should make an Athena backpack.
Just with the spear on it?
Yeah, just the spear. Get a little belt that lights up around you.
Aurora not having his best game at 0-8. Unique not having his best game at 0-7. And Janice and Herwind not having his best game at 1-9. Complete control coming out from Cognitive. They do not want to fight their sister team and will be damned, it seems, if they're put into that position. Now 12-6, 2 wins ahead of Team Dignitas, as well as a loss ahead as well. Ananser actually has a pretty big highlight reel. We're not going to show you a replay. We are going to show you Andy 3 times making some ridiculous plays.
Well, I mean, look at it, right? You've seen there's 29 kills on the side of Cog Prime, and 25 of them involved Ananser. He missed 4 out of the 29 kills overall, 11, 1, and 14. But watch this initiation. Now, he, of course, starts the fight, pops the ultimate, throws him in the wall, damage comes out and explodes. Now, we'll apply the poison to Aurora as well, gets it with the ambush. And, again, we're seeing this as a trend. Players that are willing to give away a strong initiation because they already got something is great. Frost Breath from Hinla, going to find them there. But, again, Deathbringer on the right target. He has such a great presence of mind to focus on the right person at the right time. The ultimate keeps him alive there, and he's going to actually look for a follow-up. They can't get him, still backing up. He baits him out. Watch this follow-up. They want him so bad. Unique wants the kill, but he just can't get it. Anderson playing incredibly smart here and just using his HP as a downside to Fat Chunk assemble. We're going to see one more play after this one as they look for the follow-up here. Herwin, of course, is going to fall down to the damage, the massive damage of Anderson.
Right in front of the portal, he gets taunted, he gets stunned, and then he dies. Going into the final play here, you're going to see Andy just kind of walk forward. And again, I mean, at this point, he is so far ahead that there's no trouble.
And
jumps
press
over
1.
the wall,
What?
Uses the ward to show, hey, Herwin, by the way, I can see you. Peekaboo.
Put a little eyeball on the ground. Surcat is actually quite strong, and Annister is also quite strong. So when you put them together,
that's the Andy that we know.
That's scary.
That's the 1380 fantasy points, highest in the world starting in the SPL. Annister that came into season, guns blazing, and just didn't have the force, the same level of pressure, the same that character, that player is hands down the best player in the world. Right there, that showed me that he was the best player in the world again. That shows me that he is going to be in contention as he rotates literally from one side of the map to the other to take first blood.
It's going to be the most entertaining thing we've seen all day is the fact that he just went on a world travel, went across the map, and just went down and got a kill. So it's just, I know, honestly, that's not even something you can really write home about. Be like, hey, you know that one time, if you see this exact situation, just walk across the entire map and get a kill. Makes sense, right?
No.
Well, that's going to be it, guys. But we're going to actually walk through a little bit of what's going on. So, of course, we finished day 1. We're going to be going into day 2. You're going to watch the, EU in the beginning of the day. It's going to be starting at around 2 p.m. Eastern, which will be 8 p.m. CEST. But as far as the teams that are stacking up now, we're going to see Cognitive Prime move to 12-6.
Right, which is huge for them.
Dignitas is 10-7. And then we're going to see Snipe at 10-8 actually. So they're actually getting really close to Dig.
Now remember, what will happen is the top 4 teams will go on to land. The bottom 2 will fall down to the wild card. Now, it's always been Cog Prime's objective to stay away from Cog Red and to force Dignitas into the 4th seed to get knocked out by Cog Red, if so willing. Cog showing their current dominance. That would be the trend. Their goal is to get to Worlds together, which I'm sure David Fry would be very, very excited about.
Can't imagine the party's going to throw them after if they were able to get it too.
That would be crazy.
Oh, man. And one thing we talk about,
you know what?
Talking to wild cards, right? The Challengers Cup is looking pretty fierce in both ends. And talking a little bit about EU as well. We got Agilitas and Potato Boys. And, you got to feel a sweat, right? Because right now, SK and Team Coast are on the bottom. They're not locked in yet. SK still has a chance to qualify. But if you're Coast and you have to go against Agilitas and Potato Boys, a little bit of sweat starts to build up here because you may not be even going to the regional.
Yeah, Coast has to fight against Potato Boys in the round 1, which is going to be very, very difficult. Or, I'm sorry, no, Agilitas. And Agilitas has been unstoppable.
Right.
Like, almost literally. They have
almost... It literally is 6 first-place wins.
They
haven't not gotten first.
We expected them to kind of break through, but it's not fair of us. We talked about Cog Prime, we talked about Cog Red, we talked about Dig.
Yes.
Snipe just put on an incredible performance. They're still in the 4th seed, but they're only 1 loss behind. Team Dignitas has a very hard week. They just lost to Snipe, who were the 4th seed. They still this week have to face off against both Cog Red and Cog Prime. In fact, the last game that we're going to see is Dignitas versus Cog. That will end the Smite Pro League.
Yep. The last match of the Smite Pro League is Dig versus Cog, but of course they still have to do, of course they're going to go up against Thirst, and they're also going to have a match against Cog Red. So if they can get those, they move up the charts. But again, you can see that Snipe and Dig are at a struggle here. 12-6 for Cog Prime. They're looking to lock in that 2nd slot. They haven't been able to lock it just yet, but they certainly have a chance to. Over in Europe, we see Mortality is taking a very strong 12-6. Exposed Tears 11-5. Team Solo Mid just 1 win behind there with 10-7. And then C9 with their new roster looking very strong today, surprisingly enough, and 8-9. SK Gaming 6-10, and then last but certainly not least 4-14 for Coast. So these are the lineup for the standings here, guys, and things are looking so good.
SK actually reads on the website 7-10. Are they 6-10 or 7-10? Production?
I would believe they're actually 7-10.
7 wins. They are not 6-10. They are 7-10. So they are 1 win and 1 loss directly behind Cloud9, which can change this week.
It certainly can. Well, speaking of what's coming up, we're going to see right in the afternoon tomorrow, 2:30 p.m. EST, and it was going to be 8:30 CEST there for those in Europe. Team Solo Mid is going to be going up against Exposed Secrets, the first match of the day. TSM was looking like they were struggling today just a little, so we'll see what they can do to try and turn that around. SK Gaming so hungry for wins right now. We'll be up against Mortality, unfortunately. Mortality looking very strong as well down there in North America, starting 8:30 p.m. EST, or it's going to be 2:30 in the morning CEST, and we're going to see Cognitive Prime up against Thirst for the first match, and then Cog Red against Fat Chunks Assemble. Chunks gets a chance at redemption tomorrow, and they have to do it against Cog Red.
That's right. That's going to do it for day 1 of the final week of the SPL. Again, tune in tomorrow as we watch the SK story continue to unfold. They're getting very, very close to elimination, so they have to make sure they get those wins, and Cloud9 really has to drop a few more for SK to be out. Either way, it should be pretty hype.
It's going to be a good matchup, guys. Of course, we're into day 2 of the last week of the Smite Pro League. If you're looking for more information, head over to esports.smitegame.com. As for today, myself, DM Brandon, and of course, production and all the moderators in chat, we appreciate all the stuff you do, and we'll be seeing you tomorrow in the afternoon at 2:30 p.m. EST, 8:30 p.m. CEST. Have a wonderful night.